Hi everyone, and welcome to Stay Strong Online. My name is Krista. I am a registered massage therapist and I'm also a Pilates instructor. Today I want to bring you a very short video that's going to incorporate breathing and pelvic tilts. Pelvic tilts might also be known as a imprint if you're very familiar with Pilates terms. It could also be called a pelvic curl. Essentially, we want to just mobilize the pelvis. We want to start to stretch out and release tissues associated with the rib cage and the pecs because it is all connected. We're going to start to re-engage those lower abdominals. We're going to release the back, and we're just going to start to separate movements. So when we do the pelvic tilt, you're going to feel the difference between isolating the pelvis versus moving the low back and the pelvis together. So everything's going to start to separate and move as it should instead of in one big chunk. So a very quick exercise here. We're actually going to just start with breathing because that is really the foundation of any exercise. So wherever you are, just be nice and comfortable. And I just want you to focus on your breath. So we do want to sit up nice and tall and just feel that the head is centered on the shoulders. The ribs are on top of the pelvis, and you're not slouching forward, collapsing there, constricting the diaphragm. You want to stay nice and open. Now, one thing that I do like to do here is to also place my hands on the rib cage just to give myself a little bit more feedback on the breath. So we just want to maybe close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in. And a nice breath out. So as you continue to breathe in, I want you to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, now keep going with the inhale through the nose. If it's not comfortable to hold your hands on the rib cage, just place them down by your side. You don't want to get tension in the shoulders. Exhale through your mouth if you're following me. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Keep breathing, and now I'm going to draw your attention to the rib cage itself. As you're breathing in, you want to feel it expand sideways or east to west, outwards. You don't want to feel the muscles in your neck and shoulders rise. Keep breathing there. When you're on your exhale, you're going to feel those ribs knit closer together. So a lot of information for just some simple breathing. But as you're breathing here, I'm hoping that your body is just starting to relax and feel a little bit more centered. Let's all breathe in together. Inhale and exhale through the mouth, creating a nice, also indirect connection to those abdominals. All right, so now moving on to your pelvic tilts. You're going to lie down on your mat. Maybe you're on your bed. That's okay if you can't get all the way down to the floor. But it's just a nice, simple way, even if it's carpet. Don't worry about what your space looks like. Just come on down. So you want your feet to be flat on the mat. You want to feel your weight spread across the whole part of the foot there. So the heels, ball of the feet. You want your heels to be in line with your sit bones, knees in line with your hips, and your pelvis and low back are in what we call neutral. So you're in your natural curve, whatever that is for you. Ideally, you have a little bit of space between the low back and the mat. Your shoulders are relaxed, your hands are down by your side. Now, if you're feeling extra tension in the neck, and you might not notice it until you actually try something different. So for me, I do get a little bit of tension in the front of the neck. I'm going to place a blanket, a pillow, a block, anything that just helps to lift your head up a little bit more. Takes some of that tension out, brings your spine the upper spine into alignment anyway. Back to the hands down by your mat once you get settled there with your neck. Let's move on to the pelvis. Really simple. All you're going to do is just tilt the pelvis towards the rib cage. That brings your low back down towards the mat very gently, and then you're going to release the pelvis away from the rib cage, gently towards your feet, but finding more of a neutral, so not overreaching there, just finding a neutral position. Let's bring that pelvis towards the rib cage, lowering that back towards the mat, but not compressing, no force. Gently release it all the way back out. Keep going with that pelvic tilt, pelvis to ribs. You might feel a little bit of engagement here, hopefully from the obliques. Maybe if you need to get yourself started, you're just feeling a little bit of pressure from the feet, then connecting to the pelvis, then that low back melts towards the mat, and then reverse that direction, bringing the low back away from the mat, releasing the pelvis back to neutral. Good. So we would do this about 10 times. And we're going to add a breath on the exhale. You're going to pelvic tilt. On your inhale, you're just going to release it back to neutral. Exhale to pelvic tilt. Inhale back to neutral. Check in with the neck. Make sure that the chin is not pointing up towards the ceiling. Your shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, bringing that low back towards the mat. We're separating movement here between the pelvis and the torso. And you're bringing that low back towards the mat again. And we're stretching fascia and tissue in the upper body as we're mobilizing this lower abdominal region and the pelvis. Exhale to imprint, also called pelvic tilt. Inhale to release. I'm going to guess there's going to be 2 more. Inhale, prepare, or you're on your release. When you're ready, exhale into that imprint or pelvic tilt. And inhale is your release. Really small movement, but it is very effective. I hope you're starting to feel that. Starting to warm up the low back and the lower abdominals. Last one, exhale. Inhale back to your neutral. Now, the really great thing about Pilates is that we can do a lot of exercises lying down and you're going to still get the benefit. So we're going to add on to these pelvic tilts very gently if you feel it's appropriate for you. We're going to add some leg lifts. So we're going to go into that pelvic tilt and we're going to try to maintain that position. So my low back is melting towards the mat, and maintaining that position, you're very gently going to peel your foot off of the mat into tabletop and then slowly lower it back down. When it touches the floor, then you can release back. We're going to the other side. You're going to bring your low back and that pelvis into pelvic tilt, bringing it to where you feel comfortable. Find some steadiness there, stabilize, peel the foot, and then bring the leg up into a tabletop position. Then you're going to slowly bring it back down, still controlling that pelvic tilt, touching the floor, and then releasing back out. We're going to do that a few more times. Pelvic tilt, Right leg peels off of the mat. Leg is in 90 degrees and the knee goes over the hip. Slowly and with control, bring that leg back down. Bring that foot to the mat and let go of that pelvic tilt. Pelvic tilt. Slowly peel the left leg off of the mat and slowly lower it back down. And release it out. We're going to do that one more time. If you feel you'd like to add a breath, I hope you're still breathing anyway. But if you'd like to pair a breath with each movement, you're going to exhale to pelvic tilt. Inhale to peel that leg off of the mat. And exhale brings it back down. Touch down. Inhale to let the pelvis go. Last time. Exhale to pelvic tilt. Inhale helps you peel the leg up towards that 90 degrees. The exhale lowers it down. And then your inhale to release the pelvic tilt. So that is just a really quick, very simple sequence for helping to mobilize the pelvis, to help to release tissue and fascia in the upper body, helping to ignite the lower abdominals a little bit more. We're going to be releasing more videos. We are here for you, and we really hope that these can help. If you have suggestions, please let us know what you'd like to see. We want you to take care and stay strong.